Hello, this is lab 3. Let me read you what's going on here. First question, write a program that will ask the user to enter three integers. Use three input dialogues. Show in input dialogue, one value at a time. The program will then print the largest number using the show message dialogue. Make sure the dialogue uses descriptive messages. All right. Oh, excuse that. I was recording before, then my computer shut off. I'll start over. Okay, first we're gonna import the J option paying import. Uh, First we're gonna put our import statement. Option pane. Okay, next we're going to declare our variables. Next, we're going to ask the user to enter their first number using the J option pane show input dialog box. Input 1 is a variable. Actually, instead of typing all of that, I'm just going to copy it from up here. Save me some time and effort. J option pane dot show. Excuse me. Input dialog. Dialog. All right. And then I'm making a skeleton real quick. Line space. Oops. Okay. I spelled this wrong. I did. Okay. This line is to convert the string input into an integer. All right. Now we're going to tell the user to enter a number. Enter a number. All right. Oh, big. Enter a number, and we're going to do that for input for num1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to copy this. Whew. Let me save my progress. Screaming at me. Okay. Me too. Put num 2. All right, that should be easier to understand. All right, now that we got that out of the way, next we're gonna check which number is the largest number by using the if else if statements. So oops, if num1 greater than or equal to num2, 2, and num2, num1 greater than or equal to num3. All right. Now we got to use the J option pane show message dialog. So I'm gonna copy this from up here so I don't have to type the whole thing. Kind of short on time at the moment. AG. Die. Yeah. Dialog. Is the largest number. There it is. What's going on? All right. Is the largest number. All right. Okay, let me explain these two. This is the code right here. Let me explain these two real quick. So this if statement is checking if num1 is greater than or equal to both num2 and 3. And this line right here is basically saying if this is true, it will show that num1 is greater, is the greatest number. All right, moving on. Now we need an else if statement. Yeah. Right. Next. Basically doing the same thing. Num 1, 2, 3. We change some stuff around a little bit. I'm gonna just copy that, paste it here, switch up the numbers in the correct order. So num2 greater than or equal to num1 and num2 greater than or equal to num3. Basically checking if both num1 and num3, just checking if num2 is greater than num1 and num3. Whew. Then I'm just gonna copy this here. So I don't have to type too much typing. All right. Don't need to do too much. And instead of num1 going here, we put num2. Now we just need an else. Finish this up. Else. Now we're just gonna need to put this here. Else, num3 is the largest number. All right. Let's see if she works. Let's see if she works. All right, let's run this baby. All right, enter a number. Let's put in 25 and 4. 20 is the largest number. Wonderful. Let us move on to the next thing. Let me read it. I'm going to read the next question. The next question is vowel check. Write a program that will ask the user to enter a name. The program will then check if the name starts with a vowel, letters A, E, I, O, U. Use if, else, if statement. The program will print a message on screen starting if the name starts with a vowel or not and what the letter is. All right, let's get her started. Vowel check. Since we're going to be asking the user something, we need a import statement. We need to import our scanner. Oh, that is not what you do. Scanner. There we go. Next, let's create our scanner object. Okay, I created my scanner object. Now that we've done that, we've created our scanner object, let's ask the user for a name. And enter a name. Now we have to create. Excuse me. We're using next line because we're using a string and not next int, because next int uses a integer. All right. Name is a variable. Name will store the name entered by the user. All right, next. This one was a little complicated. Char holds a single character. Okay, F letters stands for first letter. All right. All right. I spelled it wrong. Why do I keep doing that? All right. This is going to get the first character from the name entered. That is because we set the index to 0. So it's going to get the first letter. But if we set the index to 1, it would get the second letter because we always start counting from 0, 1, 2, 3. As an example, it's going to get the first character of whatever name the user inputs. Next part is if-else statement. Okay, I gotta focus for this one. I'll explain after. If I'm copying this so I don't have to keep typing so much. Include space. I or first letter space space or space ooh or AEI. Okay, oh E AEIOU. Or letter. I'll fix it up in a minute. A R E I O. Okay. Or AEIOU. Now do our system. Oh. VOWEL. I did this right way. V. You know what? It's a little too long. I was right to do it like that. It gotta be long, so I gotta do it like that. The first letter is blank. First letter is blank. Space. F letter. All right. Wonderful. Next. Name entered. Start with. Getting kind of long. Tap it there. Sure. Ooh, excuse me. Starts with a vowel. Period. Space. 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 Plus space E. All right, give me a second. Let me finish this off. All right, let me explain this all. Okay, all of this is checking if the first letter is a vowel, either uppercase or lowercase. So I was basically saying F's letter is equal to capital A, so forth and so on. And F letter is equal to um, lowercase a. And I said or instead of and because it can only be either or. Let's see if it runs. Run her. Let's run her. Okay, let's say and. Whoa, it is. All right, let's put in a different letter. Ed, you got that. Now let's try an uppercase letter. U, Eugenia? Nah, her name. Let's start with an O. Let's do an N. Capital A. Well, it works. So it works. Next, we're going to use a switch statement doing basically the same thing. First, we got to prompt the user for input. But before that, we got to put our import statement. I'm going to just copy it from over here. Just copy it over here, paste right here. Not too much trouble. Now we need to create our scanner object. Now we've created our scanner object. We've created our scanner object. Next, we need to ask the user for input. Enter, enter, enter a name. Enter a name. Okay. Basically, what we're asking the user to do. Asking the user to enter a name. The next line. I know I've already explained this, but this line here is getting the first character of the name entered, and this is getting the character from a specific index, which is the very first one. Okay, moving on. Switch. First letter. First letter. All right. I'm gonna need 10 cases to complete this. Okay, I'm just gonna copy and paste this like 10 times. One, two, s- nine. I did Alt Shift F and put them all in alignment. Now let's do our vowels. This is going to be checking if this is going to be checking if the first letter is one of the vowels in uppercase or lowercase, basically. Ugh, excuse me. A. Lowercase a. mm, I. Lowercase o. U. All right. Now we need to break. Okay, the break is so that we can break out of the switch statement once the match is found. Print statement here. I'm gonna just copy the same print statement from over here for when it is found. That was annoying. All right. That was a lot. Backslash in. What the hell? Why did add all that crap? Unnecessary. Really, really weird. That makes sense now. There was a comment there. Plus signs is weird too. Close that. And there we go. I'm trying to go over. All right, there we go. I fixed it. I'm too serious. All right, we got it. System out. The name entered starts with a vowel. Now that we've created our break, we need to create our default. Default case. We have a default case if the first letter is not a vowel. So this is basically the else of the switch statement. Dang, I gotta look at the keyboard when I type. Crazy. Ugh. I really do that to slow down my typing. Yeah. The name, the name entered does not does not start with a vowel. It does not start with a vowel. Bro, and then it's gonna tell me what the letter is. The first I this letter is mm, F letter. Wire. Got it. Okay, let's go right back over here. Here, we're checking if the first letter is one of the vowels, hence the case AEIOU, capital and lowercase, so it doesn't matter if you enter a lowercase letter. Basically, looking for all of it. And then if it does find it, it will tell the user, hey, the name entered, the name entered starts with the vowel. The first letter is whatever the user entered. And basically the opposite for the default. The name entered does not start with a vowel. The first letter is what the user entered. Let's run this code and see how it works. Okay, let's put in a different one. Amy. Boom. It tells you, hey, that's the letter right there. It works. Moving on to speed limit. Let me read you what it says on here. Speed limit. Write a program that will ask the user to enter a speed at which he/she was driving on the street ABC. The program will then print if this speed violates the speed limit on the street, which is 45 miles per hour. and we'll also print and find he/she will be paying the program. The fine he/she will be paying. The program must use if else if statements. The fine table below. It basically shows miles above the speed limit, greater than or equal to 0 speed, less than or equal to 5 speed, will get no ticket. People who are going 5 greater than or equal to 5 or less than or equal to 10 will get a $120 fine, so forth and so on. And if you're going greater than or equal to 20, you will get a fine of 500 and driving privileges suspended for 90 days. All right, let's start this one. Ooh. Let's start this one. First, we need to create do an import statement so that we can ask the user for input. Okay, let's do our import statement really quick. I'm going to just copy it from the previous one so I don't have to write it. All right. Copy. Paste. All right, now let's create our scanner object. Okay, our scanner object has been created. Now let's ask the user. Now let's ask the user for input. Okay. Enter enter the speed you are going. Enter the speed you're going. Prompting the user for input. Now we need somewhere to store that input. We're going to store that input in this variable called speed. Next line. Oh, we're not using next line. This is not a string. This is an integer. We use next int instead of next line. Because this is a integer. Okay, now for our if statement. If the speed or variable speed is less than or equal to 45, then they get no ticket. No, no tickets. No ticket. Else if If speed less than or equal to 55, less than or equal to 55, they're they're um they're speeding. You are speeding. You're speeding. Got a nice little exclamation mark. You tell them they will be fine. A fine of $120 is their penalty. Next up, Elsie. I'm just gonna copy this so I don't have to keep writing it over and over. I think that's the last one. And then there's an elf. Ugh, let me finish writing this out. Okay. 65. This else. What's it not else? Else. Okay. If they is less than greater than less than or equal to 65, they're speeding and they will get a fine of $160. If they're less than or equal to 75, not equal to. If they're less than, if they're greater than 75, they get a fine of $200. Else, if, excuse me, else they will be fined $500 and their driving privileges will be suspended. Fine. Uh, oops. 500 and RIVING driving privileges. RIVILVES suspended EEDE. Suspended for 90. I'm gonna do this so that it stays within. Let me back it up one more. There we go. Everything's within front. Now we gotta close our scanner. Okay, we closed it. Okay, all of these are checking if the speed is within the speed limit. And then this last one is basically saying if it's like else, if it's none of these, you will be fined $500 and your driving privileges are revoked. How fast are you going? Let's say I'm going 50. I'm over the speed limit and I get a $120 fine. Let's say I'm going the speed limit. Let's say I'm going a little bit under 40. No ticket for me. Right. Now we're going to do this in a switch statement. Um, I think I'm going to be doing this right, but I try my best. I will try my best. Need an import statement. I'm just going to copy it from over here. Okay. Import statement. Now to create our scanner object. Use the heavy breathing. I have asthma and I think I'm coming down with a cold, so my nose is a little stuffy. We've created our scanner object. What's wrong with it? Why are you upset? Why is it yelling at me? Why is it yelling at me? Did I not import my scanner object? Cannot find symbol. Scanner. Input statement. Speed limit switch. What? I imported my statement in the correct spot. I created my scanner object right here. Oh, okay. Okay. Now let's ask the user for input. We're going to ask the user basically the same question. How fast are they going? What's the speed they're going? Okay, let's just copy from over here and do a bit less work. Because coders are lazy. Well, I am today because this oncoming cold has been draining me. Oh my gosh. Um, First we need to make integer, our integer. All right, int space speed space equal space input dot next int because we're dealing with integers. We do not need that. All right. Speed will store the integer entered by the user. Now, let's do t Speed, speed math. Okay, space to space. Whatever the user entered, divided by 45 times 45. I think this is right. I will find out later. Space, 45. Yeah. Oops. I don't think this is quite right. I don't think this is quite right. Let me figure it out and I'll get back to you. All right, I'm back. Let's continue. Next thing's next. Let's create our switch statement. All right. ITCH is not perfect, but this is what I got. Here's it. Space. Break. I'm making a skeleton. What I mean by a skeleton, I'm making like kind of a skeleton code where I don't fill in everything, but I have like a basic concept, just incomplete. All right, paste these a few times because we need send for no ticket. 120, 160. I did. Okay. No ticket, 120, 160, 200. Okay. Now I gotta do my default statement. Well, I spelled it wrong, I think. No, I didn't. I did. All right. Excuse me. Now I'll do my close. All right. Let's start filling it in. I'm gonna put here, and please tell me where I went wrong in the comments, because I haven't quite figured it out. I tried to. I tried to before recording this, but I had some issues. I'm so sorry you had to see that. That was gross. But my gosh. And then my break. Can I put stuff here? Oh, okay. I wonder if I could just do something like this. Not bad. Okay, whatever. That's what I got. Well, I did spell default wrong? Or is it because I messed with it a little bit? Let's go back and see what fuck where you messed up. That was break I missed with. Why is it upset with that? Configure missing switch in case. What am I? Yeah, we're gonna cancel that. Whatever that was trying to do. Let's make sure we spell it right. Default. That seems to fix it. Hmm. Okay. Now we got that in there. Let's put our print statements. No ticket. I'll explain right after. Give me a sec. Time. Mm-hmm. You're speeding. Fine. 120. 60. 100. 60. 200. And then the one where it's talking about, oh, and fine of this much. Fine of $500. Fine of $500 plus the driving privileges being suspended for 90 days. All right. I'm going to explain this in just a sec. Okay. Okay, up here, it's calculating the speed divided by 45. The speed, whatever the speed is, whatever the user input divided by the speed limit times the speed limit. I don't think that math is mathing, but let's see. And then the case is if the speed is 45, then no ticket. If the speed is 55, 120. If the speed is 65, you get $160 fine, 75, $200 fine. And if it is anything else or higher, you will have a $500 fine and your driver's license suspended for 90 days. Okay, let's run it. Okay, I'm going 45. No ticket for me. Let's say I'm going 75. My license has been suspended. No. Oh, not suspended. It says you are speeding. $200. My fine is $200. Okay, that's all. Bye bye. Thank you for watching.